Hey, good people. It's your man, Shannyn Casino. Thank you guys for joining in for another episode of the OD Open Discussion hosted by your boy, once again, Shannyn Casino. Today, we have a special guest on, a retired NFL player, entrepreneur, businessman, been in business since he was 19 years old and still going. And I believe younger than that and still going and still just making his dreams come to life. And that's what we're here about. That's what this is about. That's what the show is about. It's about, uplifting people and entrepreneurs and authors and anyone that, has an art that they're passionate about. So that's what we're here doing today. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me not hold you up. Welcome to the show, my brother, Garrick Jones. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. Hey, man, I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of the OD, man. I'm excited, man.
Yeah,
Excited.
man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're on, man. We're starting a new season, and it's been fun so far. Last week, I had another guest on. We had a good time on that episode, and today we have you, man. I'm just honored to even have you on. I see that number 73 back there. What you got going on, man?
Yeah.
Tell the people.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's the number, man.
Yeah.
And that was my number in the NFL. And man, for me, it's just, I think it's a combination of all the hard work that I put into everything that I was doing, from puppy, man, all the way up into the pros.
Yeah.
So I said I wanted to put some things together, man, that represented that work and that work ethic and started the businesses, man. So we got 7-3 Holdings. And 7-3 Holdings pretty much holds everything that's on the table right now, from the FanCentric movement to the private equity fund that we have going on right now to our business incubators, our sports and performance incubators. I mean, all the relationships and resources that we have. I wanted to put that under an umbrella and do that in such a way to where I can pass that down from generation to generation, man.
Oh, man. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big right there. Before we go into 7-3 Holdings and what you got going on, because I know you have some great things, some big things going on with that. And I've been watching what you're doing, man. And it's growing, it's thriving, it's doing what I believe you set out for it to do, and it's happening now. But I want to get into, we're gonna come back to that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
When did you know that you said, I'm going in this NFL? How hard was it to make it into the NFL? What was the mindset that you had to have to go into that field?
Man, less than 1% of all athletes across the world make it to the NFL. And I did it from the trunk of my car. So I went the long way. I wasn't drafted. I didn't have a senior season of college ball. I ended up leaving school after my junior year. So I was on the street. I went back home and I worked a family business, and it had a few family things going on, but that leveled out, right? And when it did, I was watching some of the games of some of the guys I had played against and had some success. So needless to say, I felt the way, right? I felt the way. I was like, I'm supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? So I made it up in my mind, man, that I'm gonna give this thing a shot. I had a powwow with the family, and they were like, "You're not happy. You got to chase this thing." So being from my hometown of Little Rock, Arkansas, North Little Rock rather, I got a hold to some scout schedules, man, and I followed them from Little Rock to LA, from LA back to Mobile, Alabama in a car. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was hustling the entire time, man. I'm doing my little artwork, my graphics, and not really knowing where the next gallon of gas was coming from, but I was wherever they were showing up to watch film in those regions. I was showing up with the cleats around my neck, just being a pest. And made it happen, man. I had to make them respect me. And once I got that opportunity to be in pads and do my thing, and they saw really quickly that, I was a professional without being paid to be so. So it was, I went the long way, man. It's a little different for me, but that's the thing that I put into everything that I have going on in business and in life in general. It's like, you got to put the work in, man.
It really proves that you have to see it. You have to see it, to believe it. Yeah. And you, in your mind, you was already like, I can see that about you too. Like, I'm an NFL player, and you can't deny me. And I believe that's what most people should do about their dreams. That's how they should feel and how they should go about getting after them and making them come to life.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So that's awesome, man. So that's you're the definition of pure determination and ambition, man. Like, you was like, They're gonna love me for my ambition.
Yeah, man, they got to deal with me, and I'm like that with everything, right? That's business in life. I'm really intentional about everything that I do each and every day, because we only, promise so much time here, right? So, everything that you touch, you want it to outlive you,
right,
and leave a legacy for your family, because we got a wealth gap we got to close, and we've been losing. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing, man. I want to be the one that, when people look back on the legacy, they say, hey, he showed us the work. It's like, going and taking a test. Your teacher will look at it and say, that's the right answer, but I need you to show me your work.
Yeah.
So I ask people all the time, man, show me your work. What have you done
right.
in order to get to this answer? I mean, because you can copy anybody and show that I got this success and up on social media and cap all day, but I need to see your work. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to go into, something to fall back on. And it seems like you had either a passion or a hobby or a gift for graphic designs. It seems like you're just as passionate about that as you were your athletic career as well. So how did you get into the graphic designing and get to the level that you got to with that?
Man. So to go back to, what you had said earlier about when I started, I had started at 13, you know what I'm saying?
13.
In the graphics, right?
Right.
So it's a long time ago, right? So we started the company, man, and for me, graphics and music were my first love. Football, I never really loved that. I just had to, it was a God-given ability, and I had the talent to do it. But my older brothers were the ones. These were the most gifted athletes I had ever seen in my life, outside of my oldest son and my youngest son as well. My kids are very athletic, but for me, man, it was just I was always creative. I was always different, and I didn't know what it was at that time. So I was in grade school, and I would be drawing everybody, and eventually they just put me out in the hallway and said, hey, if you have some time, let this kid, just draw everything. So I'm drawing the entire school, and I mean, I was always like that, right? So that was one of my loves and my passions. But I started to really grow, and then that's where football came into play. I had some people come to me early, some coaches in the 7th and in the 9th grade, say, hey man, you can play in the NFL. And I didn't take it at that point, but I was like, I've always been able to do a lot of different things, but it gives me an opportunity to understand the work that needs to go in every facet of business and in life, and just being on the team, right? Because if I know what the amount of work is, I'm able to pretty much put people in certain positions, and kind of orchestrate a lot of different things. But man, for me, man, it started early, man. I've always been drawing and doodling and all those things, man. But when it comes down to presentation, it has to match the product. So when I create, I really get engulfed with what I'm working with and the individuals and groups that I work with, man. And once I get it, the vision comes naturally.
Yes, I can vouch for that, man. Speaking of, vision matching the product, I just want to thank you once again, just publicly, man, for what you did for me with this book, man. This was awesome. It wasn't, we didn't have, many, things to change about it. Because I told you what the book was about, what my first 25 years of life was, and what ended up happening, man, when we spoke that day. I still remember where I was at when I spoke to you, because I was in the in the mode of getting this book out. I said I gave myself a deadline and a goal date, and I said I got to get this thing out. And when I spoke to you, man, you came right back the next time I spoke to you, and you sent me a proof of this, and I said, that's it. And it represented everything that the book was about. It represented everything the book was about. It represented who I was as a young teenager, excuse me, a young teenager coming up in the city of Boston. So once again, man, I just want to thank you again for your God-given talents and gifts and what you delivered to me, man, to match the product, man. It's a blessing to me, man. So thank you again. And once again, anybody that is looking for that graphic work, this is your guy. This is your guy.
I appreciate it, man. No, it's all about the conversation. It's all about the connection, and being able to to take your words and understand where you're coming from. And then I get to recall on my life too as well. So it wasn't like, you were selling oranges and I'm working with mufflers and we're trying to put it together, right? It's like, okay, I get it, I understand it, and from there I'm able to, like I say, just immerse myself in your experiences. And as you started to talk and I got it, man. And once it hits me, I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and work this and those types of things, man. And it's God given, man, and it's bigger than me. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you, man. I'll take it real quick. A quick story back in my choreography days, back when I was a choreographer. To go work for record companies and go work for different managers that have acts. I would tell them, they would say, "Oh, well, I have this act for 4 guys or 4 girls or whatever, and we need choreography." And I would say, "Yeah, I need to, I want to meet them." And they would say, "Do you go and make up the choreography, and then we'll send you the song, you do the choreography, and then you come and teach them?" And I go, "That's a disaster waiting to happen." I said, for me, I need to see and look at, I need to understand the personalities of because when you're dealing with a group, there's different personalities. And sometimes there's a natural chemistry amongst them. And then as a choreographer and artist developer, I would have to go in and create a chemistry or show them what their chemistry is. And so, that's how that works. And when you have a gift like that, I'm like, no, I work pretty fast. I work pretty, I'm pretty good at what I'm doing.
Right.
I can't go out there and just, give you, because when you do that, that's what people do nowadays. They give you the same product that they would give everybody else, and they don't make it special for that person, because everyone has their own fingerprint. So you should give it to them the way that, it's special, especially made for them, instead of just giving them the same old thing. And I thank you for just making it unique for me. And that's, that's talents and that's gifts.
I appreciate that, brother. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
So let's get to this 7-3 Holdings, man, and what you're doing with this FanCentric, right? It's FanCentric.
Yeah,
man. I've been watching, your timeline, man, and you've been pretty passionate about it. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I said, but it looked like something I want to get in on. So tell us a little bit more about this 7-3 Holdings and what you're doing with FanCentric, and what's the mission for it, what you're doing with it.
Yeah, so I'll start with FanCentric, because FanCentric is a small part of 7-3 Holdings, but FanCentric essentially is a NFT rewards community for sports enthusiasts. These are the people who are paying all these monies to go to these games, just to go home with an experience. Really, you got so many people that are robbing Peter to pay Paul to come to these games, these NFL, NBA, NHL, it doesn't matter. These prices are astronomical. They're ridiculous, right? And you got a lot of the people are coming from these underserved areas, right? And they don't have the money to go to these games a lot of time. And it might be their one and only chance to go to a game. So you want to make those experiences a lot better for them, financially and fiscally. So what we did was we said we were going to marry what Green Bay did back in 1923 with this new millennium, right? The DeFi space, Web3, DAOs, metaverse, all of that, right? And what we wanted to do with it is essentially give the fans a voice, and also the athletes themselves a voice, because those are the two main groups that are looked at as commodities with these major organizations. We can trade you away. We're always going to have you coming here because you need an outlet, whatever the deal is. And in that, with 7-3 as a whole, we're looking to acquire these professional sports teams and apply FanCentric's principles to those new teams that we'll have as assets under management, and give our people the opportunity to voice their opinion. They can vote on certain aspects of the team. They can have exclusive meet and greets. They're going to get discounts, whether it be your ticket sales or on concessions, all these different things. And we want them to be able to have an experience of their own, where they can pass those things down to their families. And that's really what FanCentric is about. It's about, governance. That's what the DAO is, where you have, these groups that can come in and, they're going to be able to vote on all these different issues. And a lot of times with the fans, they just want to be heard. So, in doing that, and getting a chance to get close to fans out here in Houston and Texas, where I am now, I was saying it's highway robbery, man. It's rough. I'm looking at how much money they're spending, and for them not to be heard is asinine. So I said, we're going to correct this. And that's where we started the FanCentric movement. And now that's one caveat and one piece to the puzzle of 7-3, where we have a private equity fund. We have a real estate fund, REITs, as far as what's going on with that, where we bring in institutional investors. And we're looking at sports and entertainment districts, wrapping that hedge of protection around these sports organizations that we purchase and make them profitable 365 days a year. So it's taking all of the principles of what these NFL owners and NBA owners are doing and how they made their money and basically putting it under one umbrella. So when we come to the table, we got an opportunity to make history. So I'm feeling really good about it, man. We got some stuff going on, man.
Man, that sounds awesome, man. So that right there is for all my sports lovers. This is something that maybe you for you guys to get in on, and investors. It looks like you might need more investors, because I see this as something really, really huge and really big.
Yeah.
So so is it good to have more investors, or do we have enough investors for where this is going?
Oh, you can never have too many investors, man. That's one thing about it. You can never have too many. That's what we wanted to do with the FanCentric movement. We wanted to be able to bring in the common everyday woman and man and allow them to be a part of what we're doing. And they can do that through FanCentric. They can do that through buying NFT levels and buying tokens, where they can go up to certain levels, and each level has a new perk and benefit added to it. And those are the things that they get, right, for being a part of what we're doing. And then in addition to that, we'll have a publicly traded token, right, that'll fluctuate in the market and all those things for your crypto native individuals who really like to get into crypto and everything that goes along with it. But we wanted to marry, these funds so we can bring in institutional investors and qualified purchasers and these big dollars, where we can really sit down at the table and hold our own, but bringing everybody with us. This is an all-inclusive movement, man. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight. You can be 12 foot tall, purple in the avatar. This is what we're doing. We all coming in together, and we're going to handle this business, and we're going to do it the right way. And that's what it's about.
Awesome. Garrick, my brother, I am so glad that you came on. Once again, I am honored that you are here. Where can the people find you at? Your social media, websites? How can they find you? How can they connect with you?
Oh, man. They can just hit Google, man, and just search out Garrick Jones, NFL. And, man, they can catch me on IG. That's officially Garrick Jones, and also Twitter, Commissioner GJ. You'll find me, man. I'm active. A lot of time, like where I'm at right now, I'm in a little place of solitude right now where I'm not as active as I have been. And that's because, we're fasting right now. We're getting ready for this big moment, that's about to pop up on them. And it's a lot of things that we're putting together right now. So a lot of times when I get quiet, I tell people you can kind of watch what I do. When I get quiet, there's something big about to happen. But yeah, they can find me anywhere online. And just search me out. There's tons of videos from the hashtag GJ for GM movement, where I threw my name in. It had to be a GM in the NFL, and unfortunately, that didn't work out. Like we would have liked. But now we're not talking about
new doors are opening. New doors.
Well, that's the thing. It's no longer we're no longer talking employment. We're talking ownership now. You see what I'm saying? And that's the MO, right? That's where we are. That's where it's always been. And that's why we're putting the movement together the way we are putting the movement together, because we're going to affect the NFL and the NBA's and MLB's bottom line. We're going to come in and we're going to provide solutions and bring revenue to them to get them to their goals. And it's not about what they can do for us. It's about us being service and what we can do for them, because this is what this thing is. So, but yeah, they can search me out on the internet, man. Any search engine you got, just Garrick Jones NFL, and I'll pop up.
Your pop up there, man. Once again, man, thank you for coming on the show. You guys, you can tune in every Wednesday at 7 p.m. on the OD. Once again, I am your man, Shannyn Casino, and this is Garrick Jones. Make sure you guys reach out to him and get involved in getting his DM right now. He's fasting. All right, so I understand.
Yeah, I can still. Yeah, I'm still doing business, but I'm. Oh yeah. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm doing what I need to do. We're good.
Yeah. So get in his DM and ask more questions, because in order to understand what's happening, you have to ask questions. So get in his DM. As you can see, it's a kind brother, strong brother, and he's a brother about his business. And if you're serious about your business, then go ahead, get in his DMs and ask more questions about what he got going on and connect. I am always about networking. Real quick, I met this brother through another woman that is doing some great things in the Houston area. And that's how I met him, by networking. So get into his DMs and ask more questions. And I'm sure he'll, he's spreading the word. And this is what this episode is about. It's about spreading the word on 7-3 Holding and what we have going on with FanCentric. Man, much power to you, man. Much success to you. What's going on with FanCentric? I see this going big, and I'm going to be reaching out too, because I think I want to get in on this too.
Yes, sir. Please do. This is a movement you want to be a part of. I promise you that.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of The OD. And once again, I am your man, Shannyn Casino. And we'll see you on the next episode every Wednesday, 7 p.m. I see you. Hey, good people, it's your man, Shannyn Casino. Thank you for watching another episode of The OD, where every week we'll be bringing you another episode at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube, The Social Maximus Network. Now listen, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. And after that, make sure you share this episode with somebody else that may need the value that you just got. Until the next episode, I see you.